All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Elevate, our new webinar series where we meet Clipatize experts and share our experience and knowledge. My name is Jakub Lebuda. I'm the co-founder of Clipatize, and I have a great pleasure to have Daniela with me on board today.
Good morning, everyone. Or is it good afternoon for some?
For some, it's afternoon already, yeah.
But great to see everyone who's online, and thank you for joining. I can't wait to share some thoughts with you.
Great. Daniela, I can see that you are insinuating that B2B marketing is boring. Is that so?
Well, somebody once very cleverly said that this is not something that makes everybody gasp at the dinner table when you attending a dinner with friends and everybody says what they do and you say, oh, I work in B2B marketing. I can assure you it won't make anybody's jaw drop. But it's a cool job, I like it.
I can somehow relate. But today, I hope we're going to show some good examples of making this a sexy topic.
Yes, I know. That's the plan. And I really want to inspire people to go ahead with something that is a bit braver, a bit bolder. Try not to be beige in life, says me, sitting in a beige dress.
Life is too short to do.
Life is too short to be boring. And moreover, I think not many people, and especially marketers, don't realize that there's a cost to being boring. The fact that you're beige actually it reflects on your business very badly, and you have to spend more. Weirdly enough, you have to spend more money to be beige because people just forget. So yeah,
that's a motivator. So I can see some people have joined already. So welcome again. It's great to have you here. We will be we'll be talking for roughly 30 minutes, 40 minutes, showing some examples. After the meeting, we will share the presentation with you, so you will have access to all the clickable links, the amazing videos that Daniela has selected for you. And there's a chat box at the bottom. If you have any questions or comments along the way, feel free to shout out. We'll try to answer them. Without further ado, let me just start showing the slides, because we'll be using a couple of slides just to illustrate what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think the aim of the game today is to equip everybody who has been so kind to join us today to have something to work with. So it's not just for you to have food for thought, how you could potentially take your marketing to a new level, but it's also what are the arguments that you can bring to the table if you need to or want to push for something bolder and braver with people who are decision makers in your company.
It feels like you've been meeting clients quite often, and you feel that this argumentation is really needed, because staying in the box, it's easy, it's safe, and obviously brands want to be safe because of brand safety reasons. But sometimes if you want to really have greater ROI, you need to simply take some risk. So what is the plan for today?
Well, let's go through the points that we're going to speak about today. So first of all, we're going to very briefly take you through what are the key trends in marketing, and then we're going to wonder if there's any room for creativity in B2B. Hint, hint, there is.
It feels like there is, but
and we got to talk about something that is a completely new topic in B2B, which is emotions. And we're going to show you some examples of how some brands have managed to go beyond the safe and boring and beige.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you some tips on how to
get it going yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's do it. All right.
Okay, so let's have a little. We're getting some tips on what to do.
Yeah.
Are we doing everything okay? Spot on. Okay.
There are some guys behind the camera just
Yeah,
pointing.
it's not just the two of us.
But okay, let's not waste any more time.
Okay, so obviously personalization and customization, that's something that's been around for a very long time. This is nothing new, but it still lingers, keeps going. So think about this when planning your marketing activities. Interactive content naturally goes without saying. Sustainability and ethical marketing, that's a big one. Every year we see something that is trending at the moment. And sustainability and thinking about the way you run your business and how you impact the environment. These are pretty big topics at the moment.
Yeah, very much feels like sustainability became a kind of a marketing strategy, not a business strategy. But
yes, and it's something on the back of the head. So, for example, if you go to events, and events normally were awash with plastic, like the giveaways, the stuff you pick up, and people are a whole lot more conscious now that what they give away and what lands in the hands of potential customers should be done and made in a way that does not harm the environment, that is not just an instant piece of trash. So we think about it as an agency. We are conscious of what we produce and how does that impact the world, and the less plastic, the better.
So potentially more digital content, right?
Well, yes. And if you are going to give something away that is physical, make it meaningful so that people don't just check it in a bin at the first opportunity, that it lasts and is somehow useful. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that you have highlighted some of those trends because obviously there are many things going on.
Yes. So obviously short form video content, massive. Why would it be massive in B2B? Well, because it's highly unexplored by B2B brands. I think still the mentality among B2B businesses is, if we're going to do any video content, let's make it 15 minutes. And everybody in the business should say something, and we should say absolutely everything about what we do. And before you know it, you've completely overpowered and overwhelmed your audience. And everybody's like, oh my God, is it really 15-minute long? Well, that's the thing.
So I understand you are more for teasing and just saying a bit.
Say a bit, yeah. Don't push the hard sell, because this is just something that will put people off. And also explore something that is beyond the realms of what is within your reach, because now we have so much technology that you can explore freely, and it's amazing. It's the stuff we're showing you on screen right now.
Yeah.
How you can go above and beyond.
So the first one you mentioned was this kind of TikTok type of narrative, reels.
Yeah, just be short, snappy, quick. Give people a taste. Don't give them the whole meal. Whereas in this case, make people see what normally would be not possible to see, and technology allows you for that, and that's a spectacular thing. There's a whole lot more involvement. People get something that is, it triggers some emotions. It's curiosity. It's something else. And the moment you start doing things like these, you get remembered.
Okay, so I guess those examples relate to events.
Absolutely, yes.
Are back, I guess.
But also events is one thing, but also kind of a takeaway that your potential customer can see at home. So you can trigger those experiences anywhere your potential clients actually function, and wherever it is that they can interact with it, they can launch it, and they can have an experience that involves your brand from just about anywhere. And marketing has never gone that far. It was either on your TV or in a newspaper. Now it can be everywhere, and that's
pretty much in our
pretty
pocket.
Brilliant. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
What else are the big trends? Influencer partnerships, obviously. And that also relates to B2B, which we'll tell you a bit later on. Voice search optimization. This is something to do with all these smart speakers that we use around. So ask your Alexa and she's going to tell you.
Okay.
And finally, the big ones that I believe are getting bigger and bigger in when it comes to us and B2B is emotional storytelling and experiential marketing. And this is the last one. You see an example on the screen, which is my personal favorite. So you can see my hands in getting very hands-on with ultrasound devices. Can B2B be fun? Well, it can. You can see that on your screens right now.
What is it about experiential? What does it really mean, and how we can apply it?
Well,
as a
the
brand?
one you see on the screen is a game that we created specifically for our clients to take to events. So again, it's completely hands-on. It's a gamified experience. It's timed. There's an element of challenge to it.
So during events, you engage
Yes.
your potential clients. They hands-on interact with content.
It's a huge trend. Gamification at big events is massive. Sometimes it's naff and doesn't really give much to the customers. So think about your experiences that you're planning for the visitors to your stands.
I remember about gamification from a couple of years back, but in consumer marketing. I understand this trend is now strong in
Absolutely,
in B2B.
yes. Yeah, people want experiences, and if you give them a good experience, they will remember it. They will associate it with your brand. And that's what you want. You want these positive associations.
Great. Okay. Moving on.
Okay. So, is there any room for creativity?
Sounds like a rhetoric question.
It is a rhetorical question because absolutely there is, and it should be explored. We're talking about using two sides of brain, the left side and the right side, and lots and lots of B2B marketing is associated almost exclusively with the left side of your brain, meaning facts, meaning information, the stuff you need to mince through and think about logically. Whereas we're trying to do what B2C has been doing forever, which is leaning towards the right-hand side of the brain.
But it's interesting what you say, because it feels like, in a, let's say, being in a business environment for many years, it felt like emotional is something that is weaker than rational. So let's say being an emotional person feels like weaker than someone that is rational, makes, tough decisions and so on.
Well, I think people kept on forgetting that at the end of that whole chain, there's also a human who receives that message. So that human hopefully has some emotions. I'm saying hopefully, of course, we all have emotions, and this emotional storytelling-like approach is something that just sinks in. It's something.
So emotions. Let's say it's a kind of an entry, a tactic we can use actually to relate to someone.
Yes,
to influence
absolutely. Somebody once said that when it's a matter of life and death, you can't afford to be boring. I don't know if marketing is a matter of life and death. Well, maybe some of the marketing we do, but in many cases, yes, just think about it as something that you really strive to succeed at, and if you do, then don't afford to be boring.
So I'm very curious about these emotions, because I think that for many of us, emotions could be somehow associated with something that is a bit hysterical, like too quick, too spontaneous. But I understand there are many colors of emotions that you can use in your messaging.
Yes, you can use humor, you can use associations with childhood nostalgia and things like these. There are lots of different paths you can explore, and obviously this largely depends on what is your brief, who do you need to attract, and
plus
so
the creative spark. Because right. I can see your next slide.
My next slide is obviously about differentiation. So in the realm of marketing, you can't afford to be like everybody else, because that means that you narrow yourself down to a tiny bit of the market. And if you want to win more hearts, then you have to be different. And that's something that people forget about marketing, that it's about differentiation. What is it about you?
Easily said. Easily said, I guess.
Easily said and harder to do. So lots of people go for safe, boring, dull, forgettable, beige, looking like everybody else. Well, don't be beige. Just go above and beyond. Don't be vanilla. And my God, steer away from cliches. B2B marketing is absolutely awash with cliches. And
totally.
Yes, and we'll show you some examples.
Just type in corporate video in Google and you will see all the stuff.
Well, we have some examples. So, dear viewers, if there's anything that rings any familiar, you can give us I don't know if there are reactions on LinkedIn. No, but
comments are welcome.
Give us a mental thumbs up. So if you've ever seen people pointing at charts in a conference room, that's classic B2B.
Exactly. Working together,
Yeah.
brainstorming.
Teamwork and all that.
Mhm.
And also on the next page, we'll see a whole lot more. So your classic handshake, but this one is against the blue sky.
So that's a no-go.
No, don't go anywhere near it. Don't go anywhere near a seed that is sprouting something out. Don't go anywhere near people who draw charts in the air, because these are just cliches, and everybody does that. And yeah, you can do better. And why is it such a trap to do what everybody else is doing? Well, he's a perfect example. A whole ton of white cars. Guess what? All of them are different. You know, they're from different brands.
There are some great brands over there.
Absolutely, yes. But something that differentiates them, and
Okay.
we spoke about being different, is the marketing that they do. So seemingly it's all an identical product in every single case.
Or quite similar, yeah.
Yeah, the difference can be from minute to large, but altogether it's about how have they branded themselves and what have they said about themselves that makes them different. Why you desire to drive in a Nissan? Why do you desire to be seen in a Porsche?
Exactly.
What do you associate it, with it? Why do you think that when you drive a Volvo, you're going to be safer? Why do you think that if you drive a Toyota, it's going to go up the hill better than any other car? Well, these are the things that are the differentiating factor. In marketing, we also talk a lot about the unique selling point. Well, what is unique? What is different about you? Why is your product something that your audience should care about? Think about it and push it, because that's the way to go. So dare to be different. If you remember Matrix and the choice of two pills,
there's a choice you need to make. Yeah,
go for the pill that takes you on a journey and takes your audience on a journey.
Great. Okay, I guess you've got some examples.
Yes.
At the very start of the presentation, I've seen in the title that it's you cannot be boring. And you mentioned that you need to entertain. So it feels like quite a mass of these emotions are related to entertainment. So marketing.
Absolutely. Just think about in-flight videos, the safety videos that you're being shown. Most of the time, you wouldn't
That's a great example, yeah.
You wouldn't care about them.
How to make the people really watch these videos.
But then every now and again, somebody comes up with something that is it just sticks with you, like the New Zealand safety videos. Shown to you by hobbits. What a way to promote yourself, promote the country, promote the airline. It's just astonishing. And they've been doing it over and over again about something that is as mundane as strapping your seatbelt and opening and unlatching your seatbelt. This is
I get you. Now I get you what you've been talking about. So let's see some good ones.
Sure. Let's go ahead. So we're going to show you those adverts in full. Please watch them with us, or if you're short on time, we're gonna summarize them for you after each of the screenings. Great. So let's start with the first one. This is Adobe. Great brand message and not in your face product walkthrough. Very lighthearted and simple and funny, and I think it's completely on the button. You would never ever say anything like it about Adobe Acrobat, and there you have it. So they've done a really good job.
You've built my curiosity. Yeah.
Let's play.
Adobe just pinged me. They want you to do an ad for Acrobat. An ad? Come on, Ben. I am not going to just hawk products.
This is the contract.
What matters to me as an artist, the things that I do in this world, and I can evolve.
What makes you so special?
Yep.
This is an online PDF with all the deal terms. I am actually interfacing with Adobe right now. So generous. They want to know if you have any special food requests on set.
What do like famous rappers ask for?
For scallops.
Ask them for scallops.
You got it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking to Adobe right now?
That's what's so cool about Acrobat, the all-in-one PDF and e-signature solution that allows you to edit, comment on, and sign PDFs from anywhere on any device. Acrobat's got it.
That was weird. But I'm in.
I think it's a great decision.
Let's
Just
do
do a
it.
little swoopy thing with your finger.
And cut! Rob, how does it close up? There we go again. Photoshop to get the e-sign nice and clean.
Who are these people?
Great, that's great. Adobe's gonna love.
A very cool use of the character. He is actually a celebrity, but if you don't know it, it doesn't really matter. It's still funny either way.
So it's about the funny scenario, right?
It's about the funny scenario and how you can seamlessly use Acrobat and do all kinds of things using it. So that's a very cool message. And the celebrity on top of that, a famous American comedian But like I said, I wasn't aware of who he is, and I still found it entertaining. So
Just good B2B acting.
absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to the
Broadway to
second
Broadway.
one. Yeah.
Okay, the next one is something that curiously is an example of B2B marketing going kind of live and reacting almost in real time to the most famous film premiere of the last year. So we were getting excited about either Oppenheimer or Barbie, or altogether Barbieheimer. And what they've done is making a bit of a spoof with it and creating Googleheimer.
So what is the brand that we are talking about?
The brand is Matomo, and they do some kind of measuring software for e-commerce, I think. Yeah,
Analytics. All right.
that's right.
Let's
Yeah.
take a look.
I have an idea. Take Universal Analytics and blow it up.
What are you building out here?
The future.
Looks like you just made everything more confusing and got rid of reports everyone loved.
I call it GA4.
People are saying it's hard to migrate to, and even harder to understand.
They won't migrate to it until they understand it. And they won't understand it, even if they've used it.
What?
This desert must be making my GA4 dashboard act funny. I can't see the specific number of users I've had today. It keeps rounding them off.
It's not acting funny. It's GA4.
You're talking about blowing up a product that people have been using for 20 years.
Don't worry. We'll send them reminders, and then remind them again with increasingly confusing reminders.
When we push that button, we destroy Universal Analytics. But we're keeping everyone's data, right? Right? Right?
Now I am become GA4, the destroyer of analytics. Everything comes down to this, my greatest creation.
Wait, all you've done out here is make a countdown timer?
Yeah.
Time to get Matomo.
That's a good idea.
Wow. So that's a truly epic cinematographic story, right?
Absolutely, and I think they've done a stellar job. So not only that it's real time, it really resembles Oppenheimer pretty well, I would say. So yeah, an excellent piece of work, and about something that is, you know, pretty hard to understand for most, and altogether not a very sexy thing. Software isn't, essentially. So yeah, good on them. A very nicely put together piece of work. Okay, on to the next one. Salesforce.
Yeah.
Rings a bell, yeah?
Rings a bell. World-class leader in CRM solutions and surrounding. So curious. I mean, the title looks pretty boring, like financial year review.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it's derived from a very simple concept of what people used to refer to in the past as Robin News.
Mm-hmm.
So once a year, you send out to your friends and family, your nearest and dearest, a summary of what you've been through in the past year. And I think this is what Salesforce have done, and yeah, it's nicely done job, because as much as it is a review, it's still entertaining. There's plenty going on, very good vouching from the clients. So it's not just Salesforce blowing their own trumpet, it's the clients blowing Salesforce's trumpet at the same time.
Interesting.
Which is, yeah.
It's our third example, and you have used the word entertaining for the third time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Am I repetitive? No, I just chose them specifically so that they B2B
Looks like
and yet entertaining.
Yeah, looks like an effective tactic potentially.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Salesforce has been built through tremendous innovation for 25 years. We are in a new world. It's a new day. There's a new economy. There's new technologies. There's new experiences. We know that. We can feel it. We can see it. But let's not forget who we really are. Let's not forget why we're really here. Our customers. We are all about customer success. And as the economy goes through its gyrations, there's a gap. There is a gap between customers and companies. They're disconnected. So we asked ourselves a question. The question we asked was, how do you become a customer company?
Our information was way too spread out and in too many different hands.
Instead of guessing what's happening out there and relying on manual reports, we have to evolve to adapt to the new world.
It's all about driving delight for our customers.
The only way to make this happen is to digitalize this business, fundamentally reinventing the company from scratch.
Technology is the bedrock of how you can enable simplicity in anybody's life.
That's why we came to Salesforce.
Customer 360, powered by Genie, is automated, intelligent, and now real time.
It has increased the speed of the game for us, which is everything.
What Salesforce allows us to do in a very dynamic way is know at any given time what is most important to that client right now.
This single view of the customer, it was like turning on the Hubble telescope for us. A revelation. We can now see exactly what's happening in real time.
This is who Salesforce really is today, the customer company.
This is the most important Dreamforce ever.
Our trailblazers are the heart of our company.
They have the same goal that we do.
I want our customers to feel like they were cared for.
That means we're talking to a person, not a data point.
Everything starts with the opportunity in front of us.
We have to save time and save money and grow revenue, especially in this economy, because the companies that grow are the companies who have maintained high quality customer relationships. And I'll tell you, Salesforce, well,
We're going to take this company to another level of performance and productivity.
we are the fastest growing top 5 enterprise software company in the world, and we are now the #1 CRM. And we're going to help you to understand how to become a customer company, and we're all going to go through that door together.
So even though it's a very long format, it's 2 minutes 50, and I was warning you against going towards 3-minute mark. They've done exactly that, but it's absolutely jam-packed with examples of the businesses they work with, examples of applications. There's just a lot going on. And on top of that, it's a very nicely delivered power speech. So yeah, there's nothing not to like about a video of this length.
Yeah, exactly.
Delivered like that.
I mean, I agree. It's nearly 3 minutes. It seems like too long. On the other hand, they managed to mix the CEO message with some examples that actually are the proof for whatever
exactly.
he says. So
yeah.
Very dynamic, very fast, I think relatable. You really feel like they are taking the lead in business.
Absolutely. So yeah, nicely put together. If you're going to go for a long format, do it as nicely as they've done it. Okay, the next one is not a video, it's a website. In fact, more like a landing page. And this one was recommended by you, Kuba. It's called Hidden Heroes by a software house called NetGuru. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So NetGuru is, as you said, a software house, quite a big one, around 1,000 people, 1,000 experts. What they've done is a very non-intrusive way of elevating their brand, but also very much highlighting how they work, what is their culture. So actually this type of approach can serve the purpose of client advertising to the clients, advertising to potential employees. And with Hidden Heroes, they actually they show the stories or uncover the stories of heroes that are essentially hidden. So people that stand behind some breakthroughs, some technologies that changed the world, but didn't get as famous as Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. Essentially, nicely done websites with plenty of stories of those people, both in visual, text, and podcast formats. So I guess, definitely an inspiring piece.
I think it actually, speaks volumes about what we've been talking through, which is not trying to sell stuff too hard. And that's exactly what they're doing. So they build a preference, they stay in mind with content that is quality and something that is informative and, again, entertaining, but on a different level. And on top of that, I have to say I'm really a fan of all these illustrations by some really, really cool artists.
Yeah, I think that this project really performs well on a number of levels in terms of the overall concept, but also execution and making the brand very much relatable. So much done on the purpose or culture side, things that seem not so much, let's say, commercial, but probably make a bigger impact than a very intense lead gen campaign, I would say.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Right?
On to the next one. The next one is called The Wolf. And it was a highly successful advertising campaign launched in 2017 by HP. And why is it called The Wolf? Well,
doesn't really sound like a IT buzzword, no?
Nor does it sound like something connected with printers, right? I mean, is there anything more boring than printers? I'm struggling to think. But
useful is boring, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the wolves?
But they turn it into a bit of a crime story, I would say. So the wolf is the character who plots a plan to tackle some of the biggest companies out there using their vulnerability, which is a not very secure system of printers, because people don't use cybersecurity wisely enough, and they have these points that can be approached in a way that you can just breach the entire system and do as you like.
But I understand this video does not speak about features of the printers, right?
Not in your face. However, it does speak about a very, very popular actor called Christian Slater.
I recall this one.
He's the one who becomes the wolf. He's the fictional character of a hacker who uses the vulnerability of the system to break through. And a suave and sophisticated criminal mastermind, they say.
Let's take a look.
Sheep never realize there's a wolf around until it's too late. Then they do exactly what the wolf expects them to do. They run into each other, they fall down, they become dinner. Time to eat. They've got no idea I use my phone to hack the OS on that printer over there. And why would they? Not one printer in this place has built-in malware protection. Now, while they're all busy watching a little something I threw up on the control panel,
Just look at your screen.
I can intercept all their print jobs until I find the info I'm looking for. Ooh, yeah, today's somebody's birthday. Perfect. The really good stuff is upstairs. The kind of stuff that could destroy any future this grand financial institution could hope to have.
Yes, we did. We've just watched that. But what we've seen is a trailer. And if you follow that path, you'll find a full episode as well. So teaser and reveal, also a very nice and sleek way. As sleek as Christian Slater.
And another example of I would say a type of celebrity endorsement. We have seen it with the first video with Adobe. And now we have a big name again.
Christian Slater, yeah. So I guess it speaks volumes about, the celebrity factor not just being reserved to B2C.
Celebrity itself, or the intention to be not so much product focused, as you said, yeah?
That is another
building a story
big thing.
that is just engaging.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. The next one is my personal favorite. I never envisaged myself saying my personal favorite is the one that shows massive electricity generators somewhere in rural China. But there you have it. We have a campaign from Caterpillar, which is aimed to create a strong emotional connection with industrial clients and position Caterpillar as a leader in durable and reliable equipment. And this durability and reliability is taken into rural China, where the Festival of Light is powered with the lights that use electricity from Caterpillar generators. So not only you have the beautiful festival and amazing cinematography and a very heartfelt story, you also have human emotions and human connections involved in all of that, which I think paints a beautiful picture of hard and heavy duty technology can get closer to people. So let's have a look.
I understand that within this one, Caterpillar, which is a B2B brand selling heavy gear, they are connecting with the audience through some kind of cultural events, right?
It is a cultural festival.
Okay.
Traditional
and
festival.
Through the B2C approach, they are making their B2B brand strong.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, well, we had a little bit of crime, we had a little bit of drama, we had a little bit of humor, and we had a little bit of emotions. But now we're going to have a funny haha moment. And the next two happen to be campaigns that are kind of targeted at us here in the creative market. Well, I'm trying to say the agencies. So the first one is the voice of Premium Beat. And Kuba, you should know.
Premiumbeat.com.
Yeah, and now repeat it 1,000 times.
Exactly.
Over some generic track. So Premium Beat
what do they do?
Has a service in which you can buy rights to melodies and songs that you can use in the background of your videos or any kind of content or output you have in your marketing materials. So for people who work in marketing, for people who work in agencies, this is a very well-known name. Premium Beat is the place to go if you need some music.
Exactly. And when you're picking a piece for your video, before you purchase, they actually break it with a watermark, right?
Exactly. So this sound watermark is something that they've taken on board and created a pastiche out of it, in which there's an actual guy who, let's say, he whispers or he sings the words Premium Beat to the microphone, and at some point he realizes that his job is no longer needed.
This is amazing. So they actually try to, laugh a bit about themselves.
Absolutely.
They're not being too serious about how big and powerful their brand is.
Exactly. So a very nice example of a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. I think they know the audience very well. They know that we can take humor, or not only take it, we encourage some humor. So let's have a little laugh.
Let's have a look.
Here at PremiumBeat.com, we're all about giving filmmakers access to hand-picked production music from the world's leading composers. One of our users' favorite features is the ability to download preview tracks so you can hear how our music fits into your production without having to buy the track first. You'll just hear a little audio watermark saying PremiumBeat.com. People always ask me, "Hey Mark, who's the voice of PremiumBeat.com?" Well,
PremiumBeat.com. PremiumBeat.com.
I'm Todd Blaine, the voice behind PremiumBeat.com.
PremiumBeat.com. PremiumBeat.com.
Lance, tell me which one you like better.
PremiumBeat.com.
Or
PremiumBeat.com.
which one?
PremiumBeat.com.
I'd like to think that every time I say PremiumBeat.com, I'm changing someone's life.
PremiumBeat.com.
I've told him he doesn't need to record each track live. I was thinking we could record you saying PremiumBeat.com one time, and then we'll just layer that into each track separately, so we don't have to do it every time, you know?
Yeah, I know it's expensive to have Todd record each track live. Wait, he only has to record it once?
Hey, Todd, why don't you get out of the booth, bud? Todd, stop dancing. Todd, get out of the booth. Todd!
No, that's way too funny.
It's funny. It's a good type of humor. And on top of that, we learned all we had to know about Premium Beat to carry on being the customers and carry on making purchases. All right.
Last but not least
is a very fresh one, straight from Teamwork, which is, again, a piece of software that can be used by agencies to track the time and...
productivity software, right?
And product, yeah. That's
Everyone hates that.
Oh, I hate it too. But there's something we hate more than that. I'm just joking.
A common enemy.
We love our clients.
You haven't said anything even. Just let's take a look so we understand.
What is it?
It's some kind of message.
I don't get it. Who would demand such a thing?
It's the client.
My vendors need a wake-up call, and I'm the one that's going to give it to them.
He wants to get on a call.
Sure, this afternoon works.
He wants to meet now.
I've got changes.
But you approved everything last week.
Oops.
A client is ruining efficiency and profitability everywhere.
The client says we never sent him the password to the file.
He's literally responding to the email that I gave it to him in, bolded and highlighted.
Why does account management cost this much?
That's just...
I want a full breakdown of what everyone is doing.
But...
What's the issue? I'm sure you're tracking your time. You say good, fast, cheap, pick two? Well, I want all three.
How do we resource this? How do we make money? How do we stop the client?
He doesn't need to be stopped. He needs to be managed.
You said that.
It's not who I am. It's the tools I use.
Who are you?
I'm Dave from Teamwork.com, the only platform that helps you manage your client work profitably. It makes clients, like the client, less clienty. Here, use it.
He says he didn't show the CEO the project until now. They've got changes. And he wants to hop on another call.
Sounds overly familiar, yeah?
I cannot confirm. Is the client the villain? I really don't want to end on this note, Daniela.
I don't want to end on this note either, but we all have our clients and we know how things change, and our clients have their clients.
Obviously, that's life, but I think that
the pecking order.
It's a very epic framing of a relatively boring story. Yeah?
Exactly, yes. And who would think that Dave from Teamwork is going to come over and save the day, yeah? But what I have here, and we can take a look at it now, is that we have a second emotional response to how people were actually viewing this particular video and responding to it. So you either have some anger or disgust, but you also have happiness and surprise that is absolutely overpowering the whole experience.
Does it mean that you have to go to kind of extremes to stand out?
Extremes is maybe too extreme, but make people feel something. If you make them feel, they will remember you. I think this is a takeaway. If you don't make them feel anything and you're just beige and boring, then you're just many of beige and boring ones.
You're being scrolled over, yeah?
Exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right, great examples.
There's an astonishing statistic here that if you show people adverts that are completely deprived of any emotion, they just strictly informative and there's nothing there, 48% of them, they will just tell you that they felt nothing about it. If it's boring, it just makes them feel nothing. So it turns out that the campaigns that are dull require you to spend at least twice as much on media, just so that you actually hammer that message
in a
into
very
people's
brutal
head.
way.
In
yeah?
a very brutal way.
Mm-hmm.
You watched it once, it was boring. Okay, watch it again and again and again and again, and eventually this sinks in. So yeah, we're talking about in the UK, the differentiation is between 20 to 10 million per year of the difference in B2B businesses and how they spend the money on either content that is interesting, creative, and emotional rather than boring.
I actually have two, let's say, because we are, as said at the beginning, obviously this is a tough job to go to the board or to the marketing sponsor and make sure that they are willing to invest into an emotional campaign. But actually, I have two pieces of data or let's say reports that confirm that it's worth it, exactly as you said, that you don't waste the money. One comes from Google. It's a recent study saying that emotional element is actually bigger in B2B than in B2C. I mean, I was shocked to see that.
That's amazing.
I think
love it.
I think it's mostly about the trust thing that in B2B you really need to trust because you take a humongous risk.
Yeah.
You sometimes transform the whole organization within the B2B purchase process. And the other one is just it's a fresh one. Comes from Rory Sutherland, who is a vice chairman of Ogilvy UK. And it's a new report entitled Objectivity Trap, and actually speaks about that same topic. So about the fact that B2B is more emotional than B2C. And I think this is a quote we should remember from this meeting if you are planning your next campaigns. Yeah.
Yep.
What else, Daniela?
Oh, lots of different things. This is a slide about increasing importance of emotions in B2B. So if you need any more arguments to bring to the table, if you need to convince somebody, so please tell them that storytelling, personalization, purpose-driven messaging can help you differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace.
So this is addressing this white car challenge.
Yes. Don't be yet another white car. And also remember that the duller your campaign, the bigger the media spend. So in an increasingly more and more saturated market, just remember that you need to do something to stand out.
So again, it feels like an insight. Push some of your market of your media budget towards creative.
Yeah.
This is how you can actually, let's say, with creative, you can be more viral. You don't need to spend so much to hammer the message into the heads of your audience. The rest, I can see there is a bit of stats. We will share those over email so that you can look it up again and maybe use for your own purpose. And now I can see that you have some recipe for success. Yeah.
For you all,
it's so easy with you, Daniela. Yeah, just everything is there.
It's all there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So just please, everybody who's watching us, quit the hard sell. Just do it nice and easy. Gently does it. You don't have to say everything about your product in 2 or 3 minutes. Give people a bit of a room for imagination. Give them some room for emotion. Give them a chance to feel something about your brand. Yeah. Don't just burden them with too much information. So this is, point number 1, quit the hard sell.
And be relatable, yeah? So they remember they can say at least 1 or 2 words about your brand after they have seen the campaign.
By all means. Be something, right? Don't be beige, says me in a beige dress. So be clever, be funny, be emotional. Do something that works for your brand. Think about it when you think about the strategy for your company. What are you? What is your characteristics as a brand? How do you want to portray yourself? How do you want people to feel about
Exactly.
you? This is
So
essentially it.
I think this gets marketers back to the brand strategy, because with the brand and the concept of the brand itself, or branding, is exactly about it, staying different. Yeah, we just need to have, let's say, a pipeline of creative, clever, funny, and emotional ideas that propel this brand. Yeah. So it's not cast in stone.
And finally, this sounds like something from 10 Commandments. Know thy audience. This should go without saying, but they are the hero. They are the people you should always have at the back of your mind. We're not doing, as we say in Polish, art for art.
But Daniela, sorry, I'm challenging this because it sounds a bit like cliche, and we wanted to stay far from cliches. Can you give us, let's say, what would be like a practical example of knowing the audience within the creative process that will result with something emotional?
We had a very successful campaign for the manufacturer of rooftop windows, and the advert was created for people who install those windows. And the client came to us with an absolutely excellent brief. They knew everything about the audience. And that's how we came up with something that was funny. It was a bit cheesy. It was intentionally cheesy, and it was such a successful campaign, and people loved it. And this was because the client came to the table and they said, our audience is A, B, C, D, and they had data for that. They had characteristics, and we could just run with it. And it felt like we knew the audience, like we knew them personally, even though I have never met. Oh no, maybe I once met somebody who used to install rooftop windows, but other than that, it just felt instantly familiar. And for somebody you know what they're gonna like and what will make them click. And that was an amazing insight. So gather your insights, gather the things that people say about your brand, write them down, keep them. You never know when you're gonna need them. But I can assure you that if you're going to work with a creative agency, with an agency, the moment you start saying those insights, you open up a whole new spectrum for us. Suddenly we're like, oh yeah, I like that. This makes me think about something, and I have ideas straight away. So
well, so far, I mean, we've shared some stats, but obviously this is still kind of an opinion that we want to promote. But I know that you have some further content.
Yes.
Hear it from Marketing Gurus. What is it about?
I have actually quoted them a few times today. So Peter Field and Adam Morgan take part in a podcast. These two guys have probably combined a whole lot more experience than I have years on this planet. So
looks like more wrinkles on their forehead.
Probably a few more wrinkles. So if there's anything I recommend, then have a little listen through that during your commute home or in your free moment. It's an eye-opening 1 hour you will spend in the company of people who know the business inside out, both B2C and B2B.
Great. I'll make sure I watch it. So
excellent. Okay, and from me to you, good luck.
Daniela, now, to be honest, I mean, you mentioned no hard sell, and now you
just a tiny bit of a hard sell at the end. So if you would like to,
please ignore it. Please ignore it. But of course, if with any questions that you have,
yes, we're here for you. And,
let us know.
Yeah,
we still have some time. I guess some 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions right now, feel free to ask them. Yeah,
we're here to help. And if you have any questions later, you know where to find us. Just clipperdice.com.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'll just wait 1 more minute for questions, if any. So just paste them in the chat box. But in any case, it was a great pleasure to see you all here joining. We have a sneak peek for the participants. So it's been nice to see guests both from Poland, Dubai, and Riyadh as well. So nice. It's so nice to have you here. As I said, we have your email addresses because you registered through through LinkedIn. So we will be dispatching these presentations, and we'll keep you posted about our further meetings. We have Elevate, as I said. This is an Elevate webinar series where we share our internal Clipotize knowledge, experience, and know-how. I also would like to encourage you to follow us on YouTube, where we store, and let me just share a link to Blueprint, which is a B2B marketing podcast where I'm meeting guests from outside of Clipotize, from big and small companies. So if you'd like to tune into that, here's your link.
And we have one question.
And we have a question from Caroline.
Caroline, you can definitely share that slide deck with them,
so
by all means.
So Caroline is asking, how would you convince a creative team that this is beige to be more creative? SaaS world is so boring and everyone wants to look so serious.
So I understand that you have a creative team that is beige. How come? Okay, well, this sounds very unusual. Well, I think we've given you plenty of examples that creativity really pays off. I understand that the world of SaaS wants to be serious, but if everybody's serious,
but
then...
let's say one of the examples we've been showing today, that probably because of the technical glitches, you didn't see it fully. It's the one coming from Salesforce.
Yeah.
They are actually very big. They could be too serious.
Exactly, yes.
They still make it look a bit softer. I think humor is always a way to go. There is an amazing campaign. It's not B2B, but it's B2C. But I've seen, let's say, incarnations of this campaign in B2B world as well. It's called $1 Million Shave Club. It's slamming the doors, some cannons firing and so on. I think those ideas can work. I understand now it's more about arguments. I would definitely look into various performance areas. So we could look at how digital campaign is working. Let's say what type of conversion we have from ads being displayed on Google or on LinkedIn to your website. We can speak to the clients. What is special about your company? Why they like to work with you? Because obviously in SaaS, there are probably many concurrent solutions.
Is it just because your price is right, or do they actually have some feelings connected with you?
And maybe if customer experience is amazing.
Yeah, and then you suddenly have the elevation point for some creativity. Yeah. But if this is a problem that people are too scared to stick their heads outside of the box, just start them gently. Just start with something that is, I don't know, just micro content, so that you don't risk it too much. And you can push it on your social media, see what the reactions are, if people are getting any more comfortable with some creativity, not just the plain on boring stuff. So start them gently and work your way up, and to the point when you will actually start leveraging that creativity against your competition.
Let's say if I was to start this process, I would definitely look into data. I would look into how things performed in the past, how the competition is performing, because it's about argumentation. It's about having 5 or 10 bullet points. The creative idea at the end is just, let's say, it's grounded on this foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good to know why you want to do something creative, not just to have a cool thing within your portfolio or this experience, but really, I think, creativity and emotions is a way to make B2B brands thrive. And I think this is the hypothesis we have. We need to back it up with data, some examples that we've shown, maybe some of your own research. And I think that's a no-brainer that if serious cliche campaigns don't work, you just have to try new stuff. And this is some of the new stuff we've shown today.
I can see Caroline has clarified that, yes, my team is beige. I'm so sorry to hear, Caroline, but yes, start them gently, and that's for starters, and work your way towards something big and bombastic. And in the meanwhile, definitely show them examples of what we have shown you today. So share that with them and see how they feel. Because we've given you examples of people who are massive brands and they've taken those risks and they paid off. So yeah, I think it's a good way to start.
That's true. Thank you to Caroline. Thank you so much for your question. And thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jan, behind the camera for making sure this works.
There he is.
And yeah, we'll share the recording and the presentation with you shortly. So thanks again and all the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.